talk about the forward start, or as we tend to call it, the swimming dive, diving into the pool, the dive that we use for freestyle, breaststroke, and butterfly. In recordings of early swimming, we can see that the dive has been used as a way to enter the water for quite some time. From the first Olympic swimming events in 1896 all the way until the Olympics in 1932, the swimmers did not use starting blocks, and so a lot of these events, if they were competed in big bodies of water, the swimmers would dive off the edge of a dock, or if they were competed in pools, they would dive off the side of the pool. In 1936, starting blocks were introduced at the Olympic Games, and they soon became standard for all swimming competitions. In the first dive, swimmers would take their marks in a bent over position, not fully touching the block with their hands, and then swing their arms forward at the starting signal to dive off the block. I do think it's important to note that swimmers were allowed one false start before they were disqualified, and so this definitely affected the strategy and the positioning that swimmers used on the blocks to take advantage of being able to false start once. Really, from the 1930s all the way into the 1960s, dives remained pretty largely unchanged. There were some variance in whether swimmers would start with their hands back or their hands forward, but really there was no grab start yet, and swimmers would start with 2 feet on the edge of the starting blocks. In the late 1960s and early 1970s, we start seeing swimmers use the grab start, where they would have 2 feet forward with their toes curled over the edge of the starting block, and then they would grab the front of the block with both their hands in a more traditional taking their mark position. It really wasn't until the late 70s and early 80s where we started seeing that grab start become the standard for elite swimmers, and it would remain the standard for quite a few years to come. In the mid to late 90s, we started seeing really just the elite sprinters start to use the track style start with 1 foot forward and 1 foot back. This start allowed for greater control and improved reaction time off the starting block. At the 2000 Olympics, FINA no longer allowed 1 false start, so that means any false start would result in an immediate disqualification. With that change, we did start to see more swimmers use the track start. However, that 2 foot forward grab start was still the predominant start used in the early 2000s. It wasn't until 2004 when we started seeing the track start be the predominant starting position for most elite swimmers.